Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Crafty Simulations video. Before you see another Black Square Bonanza. This is different from the last Black Square Bonanza that I flew because that was a naturally aspirated version, the weakest, smallest, less speediest version. This is the turbocharger version, so Clarksonius of 500 AD would probably be shouting out power, and that's what this aircraft has. So we're going to take it for a little flight. We've seen the Bonanza before. I'm not going to go too much over the details. It's only really the turbocharged section of the aircraft that's different over what we've already flown, and hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate some of the performance of this aircraft as we fly from Burning Blue Design's Fishburne airfield. Slightly different. So, as the intro did state, we are now flying the turbocharged version of this aircraft. We had the naturally aspirated version. There's three variants that you get with your Bonanza and Bonanza Professional and your Baron Professional. And in the Bonanza's case, we have a naturally aspirated, a turbocharged, and a turboprop. I haven't touched a turboprop yet at all. I've had one flight in the turbocharged, and there was a big difference over the naturally aspirated. Sounds were different and performance is very much different. This aircraft is now a lot faster and can achieve more higher rates of climb and generally is faster. So that's probably what a turbocharger would actually do to an engine. But yes, other than that, this aircraft is pretty much the same as what we've already seen. That's not a bad thing. This aircraft's fantastic. It's absolutely awesome. Loving it. Definitely one of the better aircraft here in the sim. We have some brilliant aircraft already, but this is just absolutely amazing. I mean, I still can't get over how beautiful, how well done this aircraft is. Just walking around it, it just looks the part. It looks absolutely fantastic. Anyway, like I said, we're not going to go over too much of the details. We've covered this before in the first flight video for the Bonanza, which if you're interested in some of the more showing the details of the textures and all that kind of stuff, I would wholly recommend you take a butcher's at, because this is just going to be me trying to fly this aircraft. So anyway, let's get inside. So things are pretty much the same as we've already seen in the Bonanza. We are rocking. I just want to check something. Yes, for some reason, I've reinstalled my TDS GTN 750, or technically the GTN XI. I hate batches of letters and numbers. Anyway, like I say, and it's automatically swapping over to that. I don't want that for the time being. PMS, please. Thank you very much. I'll just swap that over. Thank you. Another thing I've noticed to do with this, dynamic registration. If I just pop back outside, yeah, it's not showing. I know there are other channels out there that are showing it. Their aircraft are showing the registration numbers. I don't know why mine aren't. It's, I think, only on this aircraft and the Baron. Dynamic registration issues. I know that there was an issue with Flight Simulator, Shock and Horror, and they're hoping to get that sorted out for Simulate 4. But again, if I turn that on, I don't know whether it'll actually show you the issue I have. No, it's just not going to show anything. So anyway, yeah, we haven't got a registration number, but we have got it on our little plate here on the cockpit. So anyway, where are we? We are at Fishburne, which is in England. I want to say it's northern end of England. It's north of where I live anyway. Slightly interesting, unique airfield. Looks like we've got a windsock, which doesn't have a... No, it does have a... you just see it, graphical issues there. It's not to do with Burning Blue Designs, but yes, Burning Blue Designs created this airfield, don't you know? It's fantastic, it's awesome, it's quirky, it's quintessentially British, and I love it. I look like most of Burning Blue Designs creations. They're fantastic, and they do cater towards this channel in the form of VFR and general aviation airfields, which is brilliant. We do have a grass runway, which is right in front of us, and slightly downhill. So that's going to be an interesting approach and landing. I think I actually want to... Do I want to land down the runway? Yeah, that could be interesting. Oh, we'll work that out when we get going. We're going to stay in the local area for today's flight. We're just going to demonstrate the performance you get over the standard naturally aspirated engine of the A36 here. whereas the A36 with the turbocharger does make a wee bit of difference. Anyway, I'm going to grab a sip of coffee before I start up, and I shall join you in a few minutes, well, a few seconds for you, a minute for me. Right, so that was a refreshing cup of coffee. I needed that. I'm running on coffee at the moment. Right, anyway, let's get this aircraft started. It is quite simple. I find these aircraft, when I first started them, first downloaded it, installed it, it didn't want to start. I've worked out my own system for starting these aircraft. They seem to work, so I'll go through that a little bit in more detail. So I was just checking that my throttle and everything works, and it does. That's good. Right, so we're going to have that off. So we're going to have battery on and beacon light on. So please and thank you. Parking brake is confirmed as on. We're going to assume that we've done a walk round. I am going to do a video. I'm thinking of doing a video, I should say, where I'm actually going to pay attention to an actual checklist, because apparently you can pretty much do 99% of a startup with a flight with this aircraft according to the checklist, which would be very interesting, I think. But that's for the future. Anyway, so our batteries are on. We're good for fuel for our flight today. So starting up procedure that I found that works is quite simple. I'll go through it and then I'll actually demonstrate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to be putting the throttle to 100% wide open. Mixture is going to go full open, or mixture to full, I should say. We'll then put our auxiliary fuel pump onto high. This will put the fuel flow into the engine. Once the fuel flow settles somewhere around here, we'll count to about 3 seconds. Then we shut off the auxiliary fuel pump to off. We cut the throttle so that it's down to a quarter open, and the mixture is cut down to shut. We'll then turn the mags onto both, and then put them on to start. Spin the engine over. Once the engine catches, mixture comes up. Throttle will then come up to about 700, 750 RPM. So we'll be looking at this dial here. And once that's all done, we'll lean the engine out and we'll start worrying about other bits and pieces for our startup, for our flight, I should say. So anyway, so mixture is coming up to full, throttle is coming up to full. Right, so we're going to turn the auxiliary fuel pump on to full. Settles 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Off. Throttle is cut back, quarter open, mixture is pulled back. Didn't want to do that now. Might not be able to start the aircraft up now. Right, so anyway, left is clear, front is clear, right is clear, parking brake is still confirmed as set. Let's hope that starts the engine. I might not have got that right now. Looking for about 750, 700, so about there. Shut that up. Alternators are now coming on, avionics are now coming on, nav lights are now on. Mixture is coming back. We don't want to be running this engine on a high mixture while we're idling and warming up, due to the fact we have carbon in the fuel, and that's generally a bad idea. Righty-ho. So, first of all, squawk 7,000 because we're in the UK. Set that for terrain.
Double 59, maintain 250 knots or greater to advise. 250 knots or greater to advise.
Hey, it actually works. I did set an ATC even program up to run in the background. I don't know whether it's going to work. I don't know whether it's going to add a little more depth of realism to the videos. I don't know, but let me know if you think it's a good idea or a bad idea. Right, so panel light's going to come on. Let's get Trackir back up and running, shall we? So flaps are set down to approach.
Out at 584, reduce speed to 210. 210 speed, yeah, 584.
We shall set our autopilot for 3,000. We don't need to really be worried about.
65404, coming tower 120.9, get it?
Set for the usual 35, that will do. Map. We're going to bring up our flight plan, and we're going to be coming back into Echo Golf Foxtrot India, which is Fishburne, that's correct. So that basically what that is doing, I don't know why I did that. Stop doing that, I don't want frequencies, go away. Basically, I put a destination airfield in. It's the same as the obviously departure airfield, and I've done that so that I get this red, this dotted line. Let's just get rid of. Let's get rid of this terrain. I'll do. So we get this dotted line here. That's our runway heading on both runways. So it is really, really useful for obviously being on approach to airfields. I just noticed we're squawking back to 7,000, 1,200 even. 7,000. Thank you. I'm in the UK. I know I've been a simulator. I know I've been flying in America a lot, but we're not today. Right. So that's all set. Let's pull that back on again. Tax lights can now come on. Right, so do we go downhill? We go uphill. What's the windsock? Is that what is that? Is that a crosswind? I think that's a crosswind, isn't it? So that'll be interesting. Let's go out that way. We'll go out that way because we can have a look at the air museum. I love a good air museum. Right, so tax lights on. T's and P's are looking good. Parking brake is coming off, and we're already rolling. So I don't think I featured this this airfield since the review, since its general release. It's fantastic. It looks awesome. It's burning blue designs. What do we expect? Absolutely awesome. Grass runways, I absolutely hate these things, I really do. Just trying to find the damn things. I don't know about you, but Flight Simulator 2024 really does a good approximation of grass. It makes it so much more difficult to fly to. So there we go, we've got an air museum, venoms and vampires and doves and all sorts. We're going to position ourselves at the end here. We're going to stick our... In fact, we'll do our run up actually in position. I cannot see the end of the runway. Oh, crumbs. Right, parking brake is set. Right, so we'll do our run up here, as there really isn't that much space to actually do one. Yeah, I suppose we could have done it up there, I suppose, but hey, nothing's on approach. Right, so let's get rid of that. So, standard run up, mixture is coming to full. We're going to go for 1700 RPM. I can just get the engine to settle around 1700. Left mag, measure, back to both. Right mag. There's not much difference between the two mags, that's good. Pull the prop pitch back. Let's cycle. Now we would do that in reality. There is hydraulic fluid in the engine propeller hub assembly. I'm probably getting the name of that all wrong, but yeah, there's hydraulic fluid in there. We obviously, if we don't cycle the propeller, especially while we're on the ground, we don't know we need to. What you'd end up with is cold oil in places where you don't want cold oil, and you'd obviously want to cycle that to get the fresh oil to be coming through the whole system and get the engine to be nice and warm, which is what we do want. So strobe lights are coming on, tax lights are off, landing lights are on. Fuel pump is now coming to high. Flaps are already set to approach and confirmed. Landing lights are on. Autopilot is set. Heading is set for runway hold. Runway heading. You are going to hear a turbo whine. You just heard it on the actual run up there. There is a bit of a difference in the engine note. Weather radar is coming on, although we're not needed it really. Right, so, oh god, another grass runway. Oh, what could possibly go wrong? Let's give it a whirl. Right, pocket brakes coming off, sitting on the wheelbase. Let's run her up. Just hear that whine of a turbo. All's good. Brakes coming off. Let's roll. Going downhill, there's 80, and we are airborne. Tapping the brake, gears coming up. Flaps coming up. Past 100. Past 115. Heading up for 120. I tell you, the performance of this is like night and day. Foot rate of altitude increase, and there's 1,000 feet of altitude and holding about 120. Landing lights coming off. Right, flaps are up and checked and confirmed, gear is up, no warnings on the annunciators, bit of turbulence. It's 1,500 feet. Want to watch out for those great big windmills. England looking as beautiful as ever in the sim, and I've already lost the airfield. I've no idea where it is. So as you can see, performance of this aircraft is remarkably different. This aircraft cruises faster, it gains its airspeed faster, all from the fact of having a great big turbocharger. Excuse me. Right, so we'll have fuel pumps coming off, mixture's going to come back now, we'll start leaning it a bit. I still don't know where the airfield is. You know, for a channel that caters mostly towards VFR and general aviation, I don't half hate landing and working around grass runways. Oh, Jesus. So we're throttling back. Cruising at about 130, 128 knots. Indicated. So there is a bit of a sound difference with this engine. We've obviously throttled back now, and we've started to lean the engine out, so we don't hear so much the turbo. You get like a whistle in the background, that's when the turbo's kicking in. Obviously the engine has to get to a certain power setting before the turbo makes a difference. Obviously on takeoff it's very noticeable. Other than that, I think this aircraft is pretty much exactly the same as a naturally aspirated. The cockpit layout, I think, is exactly the same. I haven't seen anything jump out the ordinary. Obviously, the turbo prop version will be different, with a whole different style of engine. I'm not a fan of turboprops. I don't know whether I've mentioned that before, but I will be covering it in a future video. That's the A1M down there. Amazingly, we are cycling back, or circling back round towards the airfield, and I still don't see it. Oh, I think I see it. I think I see it. I mean, grass runways are just the joyous of joy things to try and spot when you're surrounded by grass fields. So according to the little Navmap, we do have a 4-knot tailwind at the moment, which will be flying straight down the runway. It's about 3 knots. I would still say that's acceptable to land with a tailwind. Obviously, we'd rather be landing with a landing into the wind. Bit of a difference in the sounds on the external side. You can hear the turbo whine a little bit more. We are going to enter a normal circuit for Fishburne. Let's get ready for a landing. The landing lights are coming on. Fuel pump is coming on. In fact, we'll make this a missed approach. Give ourselves a bit of practice with this aircraft. Now, people have said that they find it a little bit difficult to slow the aircraft down on the landing phase. Obviously, it is a bit more powerful engine. Amazing, we've got a hot cockpit at the moment. 91 degrees, yeah, that would be quite hot. Where's our AC? Right, flaps are coming down to approach. Selected and confirmed. Gear is coming down. I think I'm a little bit low here at the moment, if I'm honest. Airfield is inside, probably scaring the living bejeebers out of the locals, but don't worry, I'm a professional. Alright, runway's inside. Landing flaps. Down, stabilise, flaps going up to approach, throttling back up again. There's H2 and rotating. Tap the brakes, gears coming up. Flaps up. And we're not even at full throttle. Close to it, but not at it. So as you can see, there's definitely a pickup in the airspeed due to the turbocharger, a higher performance. We are going to shut our AC off now. We don't need the AC on when we're on the ground. Basically, I do believe there's a door in the back of the fuselage behind the cabin. It basically opens up a door for the AC, and obviously this could suck in. I do believe it could. It's supposed to be shut when you're on the ground due to the fact it could suck in foreign bodies, which is obviously a bad idea. So what we can take away from that approach is don't come in too low. Want to be touching down before we go down the hill. Does make it quite interesting on the brakes, I'd imagine, especially being on grass. So we do need to manage our airspeed quite well. So, flaps selected for approach, travelling, and now selected approach and confirmed. Gears coming down, landing lights are on, fuel pump is still on, mixture is now full, prop pitch is full. Airfield's inside, flaps landing selected, down and confirmed. This will be a full stop landing. prop a little bit. Bottling back. Nose coming up. Touchdown, nice and smooth. Throttle's back. A little bit of right rudder down the hill. Being steady on the brakes, we are on grass. So, flaps are coming back. Looks like a taxiway, it's a little bit uneven, but joys of grass field, I suppose. Right, so flaps are selected up, mixture is pulled back, confirmed. Landing lights are off, taxi lights are on, strobe lights are coming off. Fuel pump is now selected off. So, as we trundle back up to the runway, my thoughts of this aircraft, as a whole, I am still astonished. I really am astonished just how good the Bonanza is. The naturally aspirated one, brilliant, fantastic, awesome. The turbocharged version is actually better. I mean, obviously, it's the same style of aircraft, it's the engine performance that's changed. The cockpit layout is pretty much still the same. I haven't seen anything that's any different, but the performance is just so much different. If you want to get out of an area, this aircraft with the turbocharged engine is definitely the way to do it. You'll be cruising higher, faster than pretty much any other naturally aspirated engined Bonanza, that's for sure. There is obviously the turbo prop version. I haven't flown that one yet, if I'm honest. I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to be open-minded. As I've said, I'm not really a fan of turboprop engines. That will be coming up in a future video. So, parking brake is set. We'll lean the mixture back. Let's turn our taxi lights off, our panel lights are off, nav lights are off. So we'll just let the engine cool down. We're supposed to leave it for about 7 minutes, 3 minutes, I can't remember what it is, idling. But it is a fantastic looking aircraft. There's no denying it, barring the registration issue. It's absolutely awesome. I'm loving it. I've mentioned this before on previous videos. You can purchase this from Just Flight right now. There is officially 3 packages. You can buy separately the Bonanza and the Baron, which is quite expensive. I would wholly recommend, if you're into general aviation, get the package where they are together, because it makes more sense. If I actually remember where to... Trying to bring up Just Flight on my phone. Look at me being professional. So if you actually buy the professional bundle, so this includes the Baron and the Bonanza, stop Trackir for a minute, it's £44.99, whereas if you buy them separately, it is £32.99. So it's a saving if you buy them together. I wholly recommend it. Buy them together. They're fantastic. They're awesome. Just absolutely amazing. We've had a flight now in the Baron, and that was really, really good. That was a previous video, so if you're interested in looking at what the Baron has to offer, check the previous video. It'll be live by the time this video's out. That Baron video will already be out, so hopefully you've already seen it. If you're flying either one of these aircraft, what do you think? How are you finding them? Have you found any issues with them? I haven't, short of the registration issue, which I think is more flight simulated. What could you change? There's a question for you. If you could change anything about any of these aircraft, what would you change that would make it better? I'm going to leave that one blank because I don't think I can think of anything off the top of my head. Anyway, so we shall now shut down the engine. That's perfectly fine. So, thanks off. Mixture's coming back. Throttle's pulled back. Avionics off. Beacon light is off. Alternator's off. And battery's off. So I did mention in the Baron video, I am probably looking at doing a by the book flight. I want to try and find a checklist for this aircraft. I think you can fly it literally by the checklist of the real aircraft. It is that good. Black Square did a fantastic job in creating this aircraft. Absolutely awesome. I will be going back to America to fly other versions of this aircraft. We will be going back to other versions of aircraft even on this channel. We have catered a lot for the Black Square aircraft, but there are a lot of aircraft. So anyway, if you've got any questions or comments about this aircraft, please bang them below. I'm more than happy to talk about them. And I will see you, guys and girls, in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator video very, very soon.